Šibenik,
Mangualde,
i Sal,
Trebinje,
Plasencia,
Saldus,
Alba Iulia,
Mantova,
Saint-Quentin.
You're listening to the URBACT Residents of the Future podcast, the network of 9 small cities united in a shared mission to stand against urban shrinkage. Every week we take you across Europe to meet another city in the Residents of the Future network, exploring its challenges, the causes and impact of depopulation, and the bold ways communities are fighting back. Your guide on this journey is the project's lead expert, Tiago Ferreira. So Tiago, where are we travelling today?
Hello and welcome to the Residents of the Future podcast. I'm Tiago Ferreira, lead expert of this URBACT project. In each episode, we are exploring how small and medium-sized cities across Europe are experiencing urban shrinkage and how they are finding new ways to build hope, opportunity, and resilience for the future. Today, our journey takes us to Plasencia in Spain. Plasencia is a historic city in Extremadura, known for its old town, its cathedral, and its rich cultural heritage. But it's also a place with a forward-looking community, working to adapt to change to create new paths for development. I'm very pleased to be joined by our guests from Plasencia, Francisco, Juan and Fernando, that will share the city's experiences, challenges, and inspiring ideas. So friends, amigos, welcome, bienvenidos to this episode from Residents of the Future. I can start with Juanja, but the question is for the three. Maybe we start with Juanja, Fernando, and then Francisco. So we want to know, what is your connection with Plasencia? So did you born in Plasencia? Did you move to Plasencia? Are you working in Plasencia? What is your connection?
I was born here, and I have lived here almost always, because just the 5 years I studied in the university, I moved to Salamanca, but even in that period, I came back very, very often to the city. I haven't lost my link with the city ever. So, and after the university, I found work here, so I established here forever.
So you are really rooted and committed with the city. What about you, Fernando?
I was born in Plasencia too, and I lived here always here, and I decided to stay here. I built my little company here in order to be able to stay here because I really love this city.
Okay, very good. And Francisco, your case is a little bit different. Can you share with us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Tiago. Well, actually, I'm more of a restless person, and even if I was born here as well, I decided to just move away. First to study and then to work. And I've been overseas for a long time. I was in Sweden for many years, and after those years, somehow I felt the call to come back to my hometown. And sure, I mean, I'm one of those examples of people that have moved away, made their life somewhere else, and then reflected and came back here to my roots.
Francisco, that is really interesting. Could you share with us what were the reasons why you looked in that time when you decided to return differently to your city, and you felt the push to come back to Plasencia? What were the arguments, the reasons?
Reasons. Well, there's always kind of emotional reasons. If you're born in a place, I mean, your family might be there, like is my case, and also, I mean, you also have your childhood memories. You appreciate the things in the small experiences. Like Plasencia has also a very, not only kind of my family and my friends from my childhood sometimes, but also like a great nature and quite nice cultural life. And also the size it has is quite unique in the sense that you have the advantages of a larger city with quite basic but good services and cultural life. And on the other hand, it has the access to nature straight away. I mean, it's like outside your door. You can just go to the forests or enjoy surroundings. Like it's my case with a mountain bike, for example. So it's a really good deal in that sense. Those are the advantages. I mean, well, of course there are drawbacks. I mean, I'm a technician. I'm a telecom engineer, and obviously I have very low opportunities somewhere else. But there's always, there's always as well a value in here with those skills. I would say. I mean, but even well, of course, bigger companies probably are somewhere else. But you always find stuff that is interesting here to also contribute to the city. So that's a little bit my snapshot of how I see being in Plasencia and having been somewhere else and returning here. Actually,
did you think that you had a happy youth, meaning that good experience made you feel that passion to make you coming back?
Yes, sure. Childhoods, well, we most of us have nice memories from our childhoods and our youth years, and that's my case, definitely. That definitely that was one of the reasons why I had also this picture of this positive picture of Plasencia, but it's also like the fact that I have my roots here as well. I mean, my parents were getting older at that time when I decided to come back, and I thought I would like to be closer to them as well. So those were also like reasons for being here as well, like being closer, like emotionally, having a good connection with my roots. I think.
Okay, so Francisco highlighted the roots, the passion, the connections that it was created during the youth, the childhood. But you also highlight the many features that are aligned with the concept of quality of life, the nature, the city size, all good characteristics from Plasencia. But I have a quick question, for a quick answer to each of you. That is, what is your favorite thing on living in Plasencia? Juan, could you share with us what is your favorite thing in Plasencia?
For me, perhaps the fact that everything is so near. My wife says that it's like going out to the courtyard of the house. Everything is near. You want to go to have a beer with a friend. You have to walk just 10 minutes from my home, and you can find them. Even to go to the theater, to the cinema, everything is near. And we have, as Francisco said, almost everything, like a large city. You can go walking to buy things, to enjoy, to have a time in the nature sometime, and that's great. And in my case, I have also all my family here, and that's also a great advantage, because if I want to go to see my parents, they are 1 minute from my house also, and even my brothers and nieces and so.
We are discussing the concept of the 15-minute city, but in case of Plasencia, it's 1 minute city.
Sometimes, yes.
Almost.
Even we run a lot, so we can go to the places in 5 minutes.
All right. And Fernando, what is your favorite characteristic of the city?
It's nonsense, but it's very important to people who are living in big cities like Madrid or Barcelona or Seville. We in Plasencia we can have lunch at home with our family every day in the break of the job of the work. You can come back to home and being with your family. I think it's a real very valuable treasure for me in this case.
Yeah, it's good for keeping a good nutrition, but also to not spend much money eating outside, and also to meet family again in the middle of the day. It's nice characteristics. We don't remember this kind of ideas normally when we think about, but actually I can see a great value from that. Francisco, your case.
Well, in my case, I mean, I think nature is number one, but I already talked about it. But I would like to maybe highlight a bit better what Juanra mentioned before about like this distance thing. Also, Fernando is also pointing out that you can also go home for lunch, but distances are not only physical but also social. I mean, social distances in this city are smaller, which means that the network, it's a lot tighter, and that's quite unique in Plasencia. It's not really a really small town, so that we actually don't really know each other, all of us. That's also something that can be good. I mean, me coming as well from a bigger city back to a smaller town, you want to keep your privacy, but at the same time, the social network, you can feel here that you have connections with people via either your English class or your cultural circles or your family, and that gives you a lot of quality of life. Actually, I mean, you feel pretty much welcome a little bit. I mean, I would say so. I would say that it's the social tissue. It's a big advantage here, I think.
Okay, so let's move a little bit in our conversation and let's talk about the challenge. Why Plasencia decided to enter in this Residents of the Future project. So the data show us that Plasencia is facing challenges related with depopulation. Could you, one of you, share with our listeners what is the reality on the topic of urban shrinkage?
Okay, when we decided to try to engage this project, it was because in the last 10 years more or less the city had started to lose population, and that's something that was strange for us because Plasencia, as I think most of cities in Spain, started gaining a lot of people mainly in the 70s. First, because of the people from the countryside and the villages that wanted another way of life and tried to look for better opportunities in the cities, and the cities started to grow. And that's a process that continued, I think, in the 80s. I don't know, it's perhaps in the 90s, not so much. But after that, started here also a great amount of people, foreigners. I mean, the immigrants for other countries started coming in Plasencia not so much time ago, perhaps 20 years. But after the crisis we had in around the 2028, that year, we had started losing many people that had came then to try to find work here and live here. And I think that we hadn't started feeling the real effects of that loss of population, but for the morale of the city, that wasn't good, because nobody wants to live in a place where people want to go away. And we knew that in the long term, if that process continued, we could also lose public services, lose funding for the municipality, and the end of that should be a worse city, a city that shouldn't be so good to live in.
You're listening to Residents of the Future podcast, where people come first and cities thrive together.
Do you know why sustainability is such an important theme for small and shrinking cities? Because the future depends on it. Sustainability is not a luxury. It is a necessity for resilience, well-being, and attractiveness. For shrinking cities, sustainability often means making smarter use of limited resources. It can turn vacant land into a park, reduce costs through energy efficiency, and create healthier environments for residents. But it also sends a message that the city is forward-looking, committed to quality of life, and ready to welcome people who want to live in harmony with their surroundings.
So, during the last 2 years, you set up an URBACT local group, and you take you took a nice journey on creating ideas and experimenting some of them. So, what were the actions that were more inspiring during these 2 years of ULG work?
We have discovered many cheap ideas like welcome kit to new residents, or to organize an annual event to say welcome to every new residents to the city, with the mayor, with different associations. We filmed a new video of Plasencia to promote Plasencia not only as a touristic destination, but also a special place to live, related to our nature, our services, and our quality of life.
In a recent report, Fernando, there was a nice conclusion that was shared in our network. That was people normally they move to a different city because of economical opportunities, cost of life, or job opportunities. But the reason why they stay in a place is because they root themselves in the community. So the community feeling, the sense of belonging is really important. So what was that you had in mind when you designed these ideas to welcome newcomers, to be welcome for the May? Is something very special from you? Was that the idea?
Yes, the idea was we have, as Fernando told, we have made, for example, a video with some challenges, with some ideas that the kind of things that people usually do here in our city that are somehow peculiar and we find could be funny, because we wanted to offer that to other people to know somehow how's the way of living we have in Plasencia. They are simple things, as I don't know, when you go to have a coffee during the morning, in the break, in the work, we usually have, for example, a piece of tortilla omelette. That it's something that it's not so usual in other places. So this kind of thing, or for example, we go to buy the vegetables in a public market in the main square the Tuesday on Tuesday mornings, and that's also very peculiar from Plasencia. And we wanted to offer that ideas, that somehow activities that make us different and make people feel how is the way we live in the city, and invite them to make this kind of things to feel also from Plasencia, because we think, as you have said, that integrating people in the city and making them feel that they have their roots here, even if they are not born here and they have came afterwards, is good to maintain the population.
And I guess that activity will also impact the residents, the existing residents, because you are mentioning the afraid of people don't feel proud of your city. So you are also promoting your lifestyle. That is really important. It's your culture, your ethnography. So it's really nice. All right.
We are the residents of the future, shaping tomorrow's cities today.
So during these 2 years, these ideas, some of them were already implemented, tested. I know that the discussion was very large, but in the end, you created your integrated action plan. So my question to the three of you is, what is the project, the investment, the idea that is in the integrated action plan for the future that inspires you more, and that you really want to have it implemented? I don't know which one of you want to start.
I think that perhaps the more ambitious idea we have, and I like that because it was born in the meetings with the ULG, was to create a little neighborhood, a pilot neighborhood, thinking in young people with affordable housing, thinking in young people, but also in remote workers, digital nomads, and to create that in not in a natural environment, but in some part of the city near to nature. That because we think that that's really inspiring to live there and also to work there. And they thought that perhaps even another project of our plan that is creating also a co-working space could be integrated in that little neighborhood, because because people that would came to live in the city could live there, can go to walk in the nature in any of our parks, enjoy nature, but also have a nice place to work there. And that perhaps is the most ambitious idea, and I'm not sure if we are going to be able to develop it, but as an objective and to inspire us and to make us work, I think it's really good.
Okay.
I don't know if my partners have another preference.
Well, I would like to. I mean, I don't know if it's the main outcome of the project, but I know that there's as well some thoughts about how to, make a good marketing of the city and try to position the city, as we just said, in terms of lifestyle and in terms of what makes us unique. Because, I mean, we have to be fair. I mean, we have to be sincere with ourselves, not like open. We cannot compete in terms of job opportunities. We cannot compete in terms of cultural life with other bigger cities, but we can offer a good standard of life, good basic services, closer to nature. We have a city as well that has its own identity, and we should be able to channel that through a good marketing campaign. And the video that was done by the project, within the project, is a good example of that. No, I mean, try to find a good slogan that summarizes the idea of why it's a good idea to stay here in Plasencia and take advantage of all these things. Is a good way to go, I think. I mean, it's I found the video quite engaging, and probably for sure I even learned some things myself, even if I've been living here for my whole life. So it's I think that's it's a good thing to also work in marketing. I mean, smaller regions like Extremadura, we lag behind in terms of looking at ourselves in the mirror and liking ourselves. Like we don't. Sometimes we are regions that are not so industrialized as other regions, and we have a certain complex that we have to remove. We should work on embracing the good things we have in our cities as well, no? And our regions.
Yeah. And Francisco, let me share with you a personal story. Sometimes we don't value enough the natural heritage. But nature is something that is really hard to replicate. And for example, in Plasencia, you can swim in the river in the city center. I born in a rural area in Portugal, and I never touched my hand in the river. But the river is very close as well, but it's polluted. So imagine how many days of enjoying with friends in the holidays during all these decades, how many leisure we lost, how many moments with friends, families we lost near the river in the summer. So nature is something that is really important in quality of life. You have it in the city, around surrounding areas. So it's something that probably the cities you mentioned cannot compete with Plasencia. And just to give you this, because it's something that I saw, you have a river, a swimming pool in the summer in your city center. It's luxury, in my view.
We are the residents of the future, shaping tomorrow's cities today.
Fernando, do you want to add something to this discussion?
Not only to mention another action in our action plan, which consists of to organize a hackathon to search solutions for the housing problems in the city. This is to organize an intensive co-creation event to bring together owners or architects or developers, real estate agents, to search innovative solutions to increase the supply of affordable housing for sale or rent in Plasencia.
Yeah, so I can see that in your IAP you have a very integrated vision with projects with different areas like marketing, housing, neighborhoods, quality of life. So it's the URBACT approach into reality. So we are finalizing our episode. So quick final message. Do you want to say something to our listeners? Probably people from similar cities with similar challenges. What was the most important learning, the most important insight that you want to share with our listeners as a final message?
I think one of the things we learn in URBACT that gathering people and make them talk between them is great, because people have great ideas, and all the work with the ULG has been really interesting. We loved the seasons to discuss about things from the city, and when you create a special atmosphere, not just to make critics to the things that happen in your city, but also trying to find together solutions. That's great, and people sometimes even joking. We can find solutions, or at least ideas that could be developed and finally became a solution.
Francisco?
Yes, sorry. I would highlight as well from my side the fact, I mean, what we have been talking about before, but the fact that we should be very happy to embrace the lifestyle of our city and not only of Plasencia, of mid-sized cities that have a lot to offer, and to, for example, like this mid-sized social interaction that is not possible in small villages, and is not either possible in the bigger hubs, and that's quite unique together with nature, as Tiago said, and we should be able to keep that and to highlight that appropriately. So if we had channeled it and market it in a good way, we probably have a lot to learn, a lot to gain as well when
It's
it
a
comes
good
to
vision.
our problems. Yeah.
It's a good vision, Francisco. And Fernando, final message to our listeners.
This is a very comfortable city to live. A special nature, river, good weather, attracting destination to creative and digital nomads and remote workers.
Thank you so much for sharing Plasencia's story with us today. To our listeners, Plasencia show how a city with centuries of history can also be a laboratory for change, keeping its traditions alive while opening new doors for future generations. We wish Plasencia every success as it begins to implement its integrated action plan, and we look forward to seeing how these fresh ideas will shape the city's next chapter. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us. Don't miss the next episodes of Residents of the Future, and follow us on Spotify, LinkedIn, and the URBACT website for more inspiring stories from across Europe. Until next time, let's keep believing in the creativity and determination of our cities to reinvent themselves. Gracias, amigos.